how's the transition going from, I suppose, assistant coach into coach, and the actual transition in the season? How's that all going?
Yeah, it's been surreal in some ways, particularly early because you know, having been an assistant coach for so long, it's all about the footy. It's, you know, like technical, tactical, physical side of things, you know, the mental side of things. Whereas as a head coach, it sort of, I suppose, encompasses a lot of things away from footy as well. You know, whether it's you know, roster management, salary cap, you know, media, player managers, members. So I think yeah, that's probably been the biggest change. Is that there's a lot of extras, you know, added on to just the footy side of things. Yeah, certainly puts pressure on your time, but you just need to be well planned and you know, manage your time really effectively. And I'm pretty lucky. I've had a couple of really good mentors, you know, over my whole you know, coaching career so far. You know, whether it was Mads, Grad Bellamy, Trent Barrett, Kevy Walters with the Origin, I've been really fortunate.
Because your tenure as an assistant coach, is that longer than most people's would have been?
I think it varies. You know, I think I was quite fortunate that I got an opportunity back in 2005. So what was I, 31 at the time? So not long retired. I'd done a Bachelor of Teaching and a Masters of Education whilst I played, and you know, I worked in schools for 2 years. Worked at university level for about 16 months. As a lecturer at the University of Southern Queensland. So I got an opportunity to go back to the UK as an assistant coach. Yeah, as I said, 31 turning 32, and yeah, you know, I was quite young, so yeah, it's been a pretty long journey, but at various levels. You know, I didn't start, you know, right at the top. You know, in the NRL, I went to a second division club in the UK to start with as a coach. Worked my way up there into the Super League, and then sort of progressed ever since I come back to Australia.
I think David and I, we both work together at TAFE. Dave's the Director of Aboriginal Education, and one of the things that we speak about a lot is, I think David was the one that brought it up, was the concept of having like a master and apprentice, and to me it seems like you've done like a massive apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And that just when you look at how long you've spent a lot of time in Europe.
Yeah. Second
division, first division, came out here,
yeah.
Origin and all that stuff. How, to me anyways, it looks like that'd be an extremely enriching experience. It can only be helpful to you now as a head coach. What's your opinion on that? How prevalent is that in the game today?
I think it probably varies from person to person. I think, yeah, like 11 years is a long time, I suppose, you know, to have assistant coaching roles, or, you know, head coaching, like under 20s when I was at the Storm and so on. But I think it's held me in really good stead because, you know, I haven't been fast-tracked. I haven't, you know, although I played NRL and played in the English Super League, you know, I wasn't an elite player, you know, so I've had to sort of, I suppose, you know, open my own doors and knock down some doors along the way. But, you know, I'm really curious as a coach. I'm a lot, you know, I consider myself to be a lifelong learner. I love learning and looking at other ways of doing things, and looking at other sports and other coaches, you know, so I've been very curious along the journey. But I think the 11 years, I've had good years, I've had poor years, I've been at the best clubs, you know, worked with the best teams like the Origin, but also 1 year I was an assistant to a team that come last in the English Super League, you know, so I've been here, there and everywhere, which I think helps me to understand that there's going to be some challenges along the way in this current role, and there's no doubt about that. I mean, there's, you know, real optimism around the Rabbitohs at the moment, but I'm realistic enough to know that, you know, we've got a long way to go, and you know, I think that the experiences I've had over that long journey certainly will help me, you know, be well prepared for this role, and you know, anything that's thrown at me, I think, you know, I'll be ready to handle.
I think when you look at that with people, like, you only see like the end result. Like, when people are real, yeah, they're really caught up in that, if you're going to win or if you lost or whatever, and people don't understand, like, 11 years as assistant coach, or 11 years in that field, and then plus your playing career from, I don't know, 10 years old onwards, or whatever.
Yeah, 6, yeah.
Yeah, so you've been you've been forged in that game. So to me, even because when I met you, you were assistant coach with Maguire, my business partner, as the grappling coach there. But and just speaking to both of you is like not good or bad either way. But there's things that, like when you're talking to someone, and I've been around a lot of different coaches, and there was stuff that, just little things that you were saying that I was like, this guy's like, he's like, you clued on. And then being how I am, because I like to know who I'm talking to, you know. So, and I looked up that you did have a not just a background in teaching, like we're all teachers here, but you also have a background in like academia. You were teaching at a very, very high level. And what's that transition like, and what's your ability, do you think, to be able to bring those two worlds together?
Well, first of all, I love my time working at university level. As you said, I worked with academics in that particular world. So I got a lot out of it because as part of some terrific research papers, people like Tim Gabbett, Richard Johnson, guys like that who've done a lot of research in and around the performance and sports science, of not only rugby league but a number of sports worldwide. Liam Kildoff from Swansea University as well. I was part of some stuff that Liam produced as well. But it's helped me in and around research and being curious, and the planning that's involved with working at university level. Feedback you have to give students, feedback you have to give the other staff. I think that's sort of given me a real good insight into what's required in this job. I think communication's a real key to this position, and any coaching position, whether it's an assistant coach or head coach role. I think communication and clarity and around the message that you're trying to give to the players individually or collectively is a real key for us. So I think there's a lot of transfer. Looking back, I wouldn't have done it any other way. I'm glad I had an opportunity to teach for a couple of years at school level, and really fond of my 14 months that I had at USQ up in Queensland as well, because as I said, there's been a vast amount of transfer to my current role.